I stirred my coffee again. Even though it had gone cold, table for two, the waitress asked, eyes flitting to the empty chair across from me. I nodded. He's just running late. She smiled politely and walked away. I checked the time, 7:18 p.m. We were supposed to meet at 6:30. I unlocked my phone. No calls. No text. Another swirl, still cold. The door chimed. I looked up. Just a delivery guy. Not Luca. Never Luca. A buzz. Finally. Luca, 7:19 p.m. Let's take a break. I need space. I stared at the screen like it was a mistake. I blinked. Read it again. I replied, me? Are you joking? Where are you? No response. My hand trembled as I dropped the spoon. A loud clang. People stared. I left cash on the table and ran out. The cold air slapped me. The street was too bright, too loud. When I got home, Aunt Miriam was folding towels on the couch. Where have you been? She asked. I was supposed to have dinner with Luca. Her eyes softened. Let me guess. He didn't show. I dropped my purse. He texted me, said he wants a break. She paused, hands mid-fold. Iris, no. Don't start. You never liked him. And now you know why. I walked past her, into my room, slammed the door. Collapsed on the bed. My phone buzzed again. Notifications from a group chat. I opened it. Tasha, oh my god, is that Luca and Eva Marlene? This was posted like 10 minutes ago. I clicked a link, a blurry photo, but unmistakable. Luca, Eva, lips locked, champagne in her hand, his hand on her waist. I felt sick. I sat up fast, my hands flew to my mouth. I stormed into the hallway. Aunt Miriam. I held up the phone. There, at a party, he's kissing someone else. She took one look inside. Iris, listen. No. You listen. He told me he loved me, for 3 years. And what did he show you? She said quietly. Sometimes love is just a story people tell to get what they want. I sank to the floor. I don't understand. Why today? Why my birthday? She knelt beside me. Because people like him don't care what day it is. They only care about themselves. I shook my head. He wasn't like this before, wasn't he? I opened my mouth, but nothing came out. Later that night, I curled up in bed. Still in my coat, my phone buzzed again. But I didn't check it. I finally got up, needing answers. Needing something. I grabbed the jacket he left last week, the one he said he forgot. I dug through the pockets, gum, coins, and something crumpled, a receipt from Il Trattoria. Dated last Thursday. I frowned. He said he worked late Thursday. He said he was at a client dinner. But this wasn't a business meal. It was for two. Candlelight dinner. Dessert. Molten chocolate cake, my favorite. I stared at it, Ava's favorite too. The receipt crinkled in my fist. I went to the bathroom and looked in the mirror. You're so stupid. I whispered. He was already gone. You just didn't want to see it. Flashback. Do you trust me? Luca had asked, smiling down at me as we lay on his couch 2 years ago. With everything I'd said, smiling back. He kissed my forehead. I'd never hurt you. I looked back at myself in the mirror. You lied, I said aloud. You already were. I walked back to my room, numb, and flopped onto the bed. My phone buzzed again. I unlocked it. Another photo. Luca and Eva. This time, they were laughing. His jacket was off. She was wearing it. I stared. Then I opened our old chat. 3 years of texts. 3 years of I love yous. 3 years of fake promises. I tapped select all. My finger hovered. Wait, I muttered. I scrolled up and found the last voice message he sent me a week ago. I pressed play. Luca's voice. Happy early birthday, baby. I'm sorry I'll be caught up with work next week. But I promise I'll make it up to you. I love you, you're my world. I stared at the ceiling. Then I whispered, you lied in your own voice. I hit delete. Everything but that voice note. Iris, the knock was soft, but I pulled the blanket over my head again. Iris, it's been 3 days. I didn't answer. I hadn't moved from my bed except to cry or throw up. You didn't go to work, so? Let them fire me. The door creaked open. I brought you coffee. You need to eat something, and Miriam said gently. I'm not hungry. You said that yesterday. I sat up, hair sticking to my cheek. I said I'm not hungry, not dead. She placed a mug on my nightstand. You don't look far from it. I turned my face away. Thanks. A pause. You want to talk about it? No. She sighed. You can't stay like this forever. Why not? He got to walk away just fine. He moved on before he even let go. Iris, just go. Please. I heard the door close. I hated how quiet the house felt afterward. I reached for my phone, then pulled my hand back, then grabbed it anyway. No new messages. Of course not. I opened her old chat again. My thumb hovered. I didn't want to read it, but I needed to. Look at 2 months ago. You're the only person who sees the real me. Me. I always will. What a joke. I scrolled further. Luca, last birthday. I'll never leave you, even if the world ends. I'm yours. I threw the phone across the bed. You're a liar, I whispered. I picked it up again and hit play on the voice message he left me 2 weeks ago. Luca's voice. I just miss your voice. Call me when you can. I need to hear you. You calm me down. You weren't calm when you had her lips on yours. I opened Instagram. His profile was still public. Big mistake. Eva had posted a new story. I clicked it. She was in his hoodie. That gray one I bought him. Lazy Sunday. She captioned it with a heart. My throat tightened. I kept scrolling, photo after photo. Their smiles looked real. So did his hand on her waist. Had he smiled like that with me? I opened our photo folder. There were hundreds. Beach trips, movie nights, candids where I was laughing and he was staring at me like I was magic. Or maybe just a mirror he liked looking into. I tapped one. I looked so happy, I muttered. I tapped another. I was so blind. Another. I'm easy to deceive, huh? I paused, my breath hitched. That voice. Wait. That wasn't mine. That was his. Voice note 3 weeks ago. I hit play. Luca laughed. She actually bought it. I said I was working late, and she made me pause to the next day. Eva giggled. You're awful. You're the one who said she looked like a kicked puppy. Guilt trip central. Oh, please, if she hasn't figured it out by now, she deserves it. I felt my stomach drop. My skin went cold. He saved this. He kept this. My fingers trembled. I wanted to scream. She deserves it, I whispered. I threw the phone on the floor. I couldn't breathe. My hands pressed against my chest. The room spun. You were lying to my face. I whispered. While I made you dinner. While I defended you to my aunt. While I waited at that stupid café. I curled up on the floor. He laughed, I said, my voice cracking. He laughed at me. I stayed like that until the sun started to set. Then I picked myself up, wiped my face, walked to the mirror. You're pathetic, I told my reflection. But not for much longer. I opened my phone, went to our messages. Select all, delete photos, delete social media, block. But not the voice message. That one stayed, not because I wanted to remember him, because I needed to remember me, what it felt like to be fooled. So I'd never be that girl again. I took one last sip of the cold coffee, tasted like ashes. Hey, Iris, I didn't look up. I kept walking. Oh, morning. I brushed past Nate at reception without a word. The silence behind me said everything. In the elevator, 2 women whispered. I didn't catch the words, but I caught the tone. Poor thing, saw the photos. Ava's wearing her necklace. I stared straight ahead. When I got to my desk, someone had left a sticky note on my monitor. You're stronger than you think. I peeled it off and crumpled it. Welcome back. A voice said behind me. I turned. Ray. He hadn't changed, still wore that calm, unreadable look like he was watching the world through glass. You probably don't remember me, he added. Childhood neighbor, I said flatly. Big into computers, always hated loud places. He blinked. Wow, you do remember. Didn't say I wanted to. He smiled slightly. You've got that sharp tongue now. I stared. What do you want? Nothing, just, you looked like you needed air. Everyone keeps assuming I need something. Well, you're sitting like your bones are broken. I'm sitting like I don't care anymore. Ray shifted awkwardly. I heard about Luca. Let me guess. Everyone did. I'm not here to gossip. Then why are you here? He hesitated. Because I knew you before he broke you. I stood up. Don't talk like I'm a cracked plate. I'm not broken. He raised his hands, okay? Not broken, just angry, I added. He nodded. That's allowed. I paused, then said coldly. I didn't ask your permission. He gave me one last look before walking away. I sank back into my chair. My hands were clenched. My jaw hurt from grinding my teeth. Why did kindness feel like poison at lunch? I sat in the back stairwell. Cold tiles, no footsteps, just silence. I opened my notebook. Page 1 was blank. I wrote. He chose her, lied to me, laughed about it. I was nothing to him. I stared at the words, then added. But I won't be nothing forever. That night, I sat on the floor of my bedroom with 4 books open in front of me. Body language, psychological manipulation, corporate warfare, power dynamics. Aunt Miriam would call us dangerous, I muttered. Then I wrote again. If love is war, I've been unarmed for years. Time to change that. The next morning, Ray passed me in the hall. You look different, he said. I showered. No, it's in your eyes. What? Less crying, more calculation, something like that. I tilted my head. Don't get sentimental, Ray. It doesn't suit you. He smiled faintly. And who does cold and bitter suit then, apparently? Me? He paused, then said, just don't forget who you were. I'm not planning to go back, maybe not. But don't become someone else's mirror. You're more than what he did to you. I looked him in the eyes. What he did made me see everything clearer. He didn't argue. That evening, I stood in front of my mirror, hands gripping the sink. You still look like her, I whispered, the girl who waited at the cafe, the girl who believed him. I leaned closer. But she's fading, I closed. My eyes breathed in and said it out loud. I won't be anyone's fool again. Name, Iris Mercer. The HR woman barely looked up. Oh, the intern from Crane's recommendation. I smiled. That's me. She motioned toward the elevators, floor 18, digital strategy team. Ask for Luca. Double quotes perfect. I stepped into the elevator. The doors closed and I caught my reflection, calm, professional, smiling, fake. Luca's voice hit me the second the doors opened. Let's circle back to that later, okay? Yeah. Great. Thanks. He turned and froze. Iris, hey, hi. Kept my tone breezy, surprise. He blinked. What are you doing here? Didn't HR tell you? I'm your new intern. You're? His jaw tightened. You applied here. I didn't apply. I was referred. I tilted my head. Is that a problem? No. No. Of course not. It's just the unexpected. I smiled sweetly. You'll get used to it. Eva approached me by the coffee machine. An hour later, you're the new intern, she asked. That's what the badge says. She extended a hand. Eva? I took it, Iris. She stiffened, then laughed awkwardly. Luca mentioned you once or twice. Oh? I raised an eyebrow. Did he mention we dated for 3 years? Her face paled. I didn't realize. Relax, I said. It's ancient history. Her shoulders dropped, right? Well, I hope there's no hard feelings. None at all. I smiled. Water under a very burned bridge. By Thursday, I'd figured out the passwords, the office dynamics, and exactly where Luca kept his files. The confidential report was buried under client debris for C. I clicked it open. My name was there. Mercer lacks adaptability and prioritizes emotion over execution. Her attachment to routine limits innovation. Recommend reassignment or release. I stared at the screen. He didn't just leave me. He dismantled me. I printed it, folded it neatly, and slipped it into my notebook. Ray showed up during lunch like he always did. Now, you look comfortable in enemy territory. Wolves don't scare me anymore. He sat down. Why are you really here? Iris, professional development. He gave me a look. I smiled. Fine. Revenge and a paycheck. Not funny. It wasn't a joke. He lowered his voice. You're playing with fire. I plan to burn carefully. You're not being careful, you're being cold. That's the point, Ray. You weren't like this. You didn't see what he wrote about me. He paused. What did he write? That I was emotional. That I lacked innovation. That I should be removed. Ray's hands clenched. He sabotaged you. Now I'm here to return the favor. Iris, you don't get it. I snapped. He broke me, Ray. Not just the relationship. He made sure no one else would. Believe in me after he left. I believe in you. I went quiet. Then I stood. Belief isn't enough. Power is. By Friday. Eva offered me coffee. I know it's weird, me being with Luca now. But I laughed. With him? Are you? Her eyes started. Well, not officially. But you don't have to explain anything to me, Eva. I sipped the coffee. I'm not here for Luca. Her shoulders eased. Thanks, that means a lot. I tilted my head. By the way, what made you fall for him? She hesitated. He listens. He makes me feel like I matter, right? I smiled. That's how it starts. At 4:12 p.m. I got the email. Subject, strategic planning brief. Mr. Crane, please attend the private session. Monday at 9 a.m. Attendees, senior partners plus Mercer. My breath caught. I stared at the screen. I did it. I walked to the mirror in the staff bathroom and looked at myself. Same face, same lips, same eyes, but something inside had changed. I whispered, almost there. Nice dress. I turned. Eva stood behind me, smile tight. Her heels clicked against the marble floor like a warning. Thanks, I said. Yours looks borrowed. Her smile didn't break. You're not seriously going through with it. You'll have to be more specific. You know what I mean? Iris, she leaned in. Please. If this comes out, I'm done. You don't have to do this. You're right. I tilted my head. I don't have to. But I want to. I was stupid, she hissed. I made a mistake. Don't ruin me over it. You ruined yourself. I walked past her. You should have thought of that before you climbed over my chest to kiss him. The conference room smelled like fake lemon polish and fear. Dotmer. Crane sat at the head of the table, watching everyone with eyes like frostbite. Let's get started, he said. Mercer. You had something urgent. I stood. Yes, sir. I slid a USB across the table. I have evidence of internal account manipulation. Crane raised a brow. From who? I looked straight at Eva. Eva Halston. Gasped, whispers, her face drained of color. That's a serious accusation, Crane said. I nodded. So, is redirecting marketing funds to a non-existent vendor? Over $30,000 lies. Eva stood. She's lying. Crane plugged in the drive. Screens lit up. Data, invoices, login logs. Eva's voice cracked. I didn't think anyone would trace it. You just admitted it, I said calmly. Luca stood up. Wait, there has to be an explanation. She wouldn't, Mr. Morelli, Crane interrupted. Sit down. But sit down. Luca dropped into his chair like the floor gave out beneath him. Crane leaned back. Eva Halston. You're terminated effective immediately. Security. We'll escort you out. Eva looked at me, trembling. Please. I already gave you my answer. Crane's voice cut in again. And Luca? He straightened. You vouched for her integrity into audits. Luca's voice faltered. I didn't know your name's on every one of her approvals. I trusted her. Your trust doesn't matter. Your oversight does. He didn't reply. Crane turned to me. Mercer, stay after. The rest of you leave. Everyone filed out like smoke. The retreat ended in silence. No fireworks, no closing speech. Just a vanishing Eva and a shaking Luca later. As I walked through the garden path behind the villa, someone called my name. Iris. I turned. Luca stood there. Tie loose, face pale. Why, you mean? Why did I expose her? Or why didn't I warn you? His voice was low. You could have come to me first. You didn't come to me when you destroyed my name in that report. That was business. I laughed. So was this, Iris. Don't, I snapped. We were nothing. I was a convenience. That's not true. I stepped closer. I waited for you on my birthday. You kissed her in public while I cried at home. And now you want explanations? He exhaled. I never meant to hurt you. I know, I said. That's what makes it worse. You hurt me so casually it didn't even register. He looked away. I pulled out my phone, opened the voice message. Luca's voice, laughing. She actually bought it. I said I was working late. He froze. I let it play again. Where did you get that? He whispered. You saved it, I said. You just forgot to delete it. He looked sick. You've changed. No, I said softly. You just never really saw me. Silence. I took a step closer. This isn't revenge, Luca. This is clarity. His voice cracked. She's gone. Everything's falling apart. I leaned in, my voice cold and clear. This is just the beginning. Then I walked away. Full time, I repeated. Dotmer. Crane nodded. Senior associate. Directly under me. Effective immediately. I blinked. Why me? You see patterns. You don't flinch. And you're not afraid to bite. When others beg, that's flattering. It's factual. I hesitated. And Luca? He's being moved. Downward. I smiled faintly. Guess some gravity's overdue. Leah knocked on my door with her lunch tray, and too much hope in her eyes. Do you mind if I eat here? She asked. Sure. She slid into the chair. You're kind of a legend already. I arched a brow. Legend? Eva? Luca? The fraud thing? Word spreads. I stabbed my salad. Careful, Leah. People who get too close to legends usually get burned. I don't scare easy, she said with a grin. Neither did I once. She tilted her head. Do you ever miss who you were before all this? I paused. Sometimes. But I don't miss being blind. Ray stopped by my office that evening. You're late, I said, glancing up. You're still here. Touche. He leaned on the doorway. Big promotion. Congrats. I nodded. You already knew. He stepped in. Everyone knows. Silence stretched. You're different now, he said softly. I've heard that before. But I still see her. The girl who used to build blanket forts and call them kingdoms. She died. She grew. He corrected. I stared at him. Don't do this. Do what? This gentle patience thing. I'm not who you remember. I know. He hesitated. I like who you've become. Sharp, focused, fearless. I exhaled. You shouldn't. I do. And I'm not asking for anything. He smiled. Just letting you know I'll wait. However long. I looked away. Don't wait for someone with a locked heart. He stepped back. Then I'll wait with a key. The stairwell was empty and cold. I liked a quiet. No eyes, no games. Then I heard the door swing open behind me. Iris. I didn't turn. Luca. You're really enjoying this, aren't you? Which part? My downfall, my demotion. You assumed I planned all this. He stepped closer. Didn't you? I finally looked at him. You think too highly of yourself. You exposed Eva. She exposed herself. You humiliated me. You did that yourself. His voice rose. You twisted everything. No, I said. I just stopped protecting you. He stared at me like he didn't recognize my face. You were supposed to love me. I did. You just didn't notice until it was gone. He stepped back. Like I'd hit him. Then I walked past him. Heels echoing like a warning bell. Later that night, I sat on my couch, staring at my journal. Ray believes in me. I don't know if I believe in people anymore. I want to. But trust feels like glass. I shut the book and reached for my lipstick. Red power in a tube. I looked in the mirror and whispered. Not heartless, just rebuilt. The envelope was thick, cream-colored, no return address. But I recognized the handwriting instantly. I set it on the table and stared. Aunt Miriam glanced over. That from him? I nodded. Yeah. You gonna read it? Eventually, or burn it, I sighed. Maybe both. I waited until the house was quiet. Then I sat at the kitchen table and opened it. The handwriting was shaky. Desperate, Iris. There's no excuse for what I did. I was weak, cowardly. I hurt the one person who ever really saw me. I thought Eva was excitement, but she was just noise. You were the music. I didn't see it until it was too late. Please. If there's a part of you that remembers us, I'm asking for one chance, just to talk, to apologize. To see you one more time. I love you. I never stopped. Luca folded the letter. Then I stood up, went outside, and grabbed the old metal dish Miriam used to burn garden weeds. I struck a match. The paper caught quickly. The flames curled the edges inward. His words dissolved into smoke. I whispered, "You should have written that before you broke me." When I walked back in, and Miriam was waiting with tea, he wrote, begged, "You planning to forgive him?" "No." I sat across from her. "But I don't hate him either." She looked at me for a long moment. Then, quietly, she said, "I loved someone like that once." I blinked. He was charming, kind. Said all the right things until he didn't. What happened? I found a receipt. Dinner for two. Not mine, I swallowed. What did you do? I packed his things, left the key on the table, and never looked back. I stared at her. You never told me that. Because I thought you'd avoid love altogether. I didn't want that. But I see now. You had to lose him to find yourself. I looked down. I don't even know who I am anymore. You're the girl who survived him. I bit my lip. Then the tears came, not violent, not loud, just steady. She reached across the table and held my hand, and I cried not for Luca, but for the girl I used to be. The one who believed coffee dates were promises, that loyalty meant safety, that love couldn't lie. I was still sitting outside when Ray knocked on the gate. I didn't ask why he came. I just opened it. He looked at me. You okay? Define okay. He offered a small smile. Breathing, walking, not burning down buildings. I raised a brow. Only letters, fair enough. We walked in silence, no words, just the crunch of gravel under our feet. The sun was low, orange and soft, the kind of light that made broken things look beautiful. We sat on the bench at the edge of the hill. He didn't ask questions. I didn't offer answers. We just sat. I exhaled. He wanted another chance, and I gave it to myself instead. He nodded. Good. Silence again. Finally, I said, "You waited." I said I would. I still don't know what I want. I'm not here for what you want. He said gently, "I'm here for who you are." I looked at him, then back at the sky. That girl still figuring herself out. Let her. The wind picked up. I closed my eyes and listened to the leaves, not thinking, not planning. Just to being. You know what I like about you? Ray asked, passing me a cup of tea. I raised an eyebrow. That I never answer your questions? He grinned. That too. But mostly, you don't flinch anymore. I still flinch, I said, sipping, just not for the same reasons. We were sitting on the rooftop, quiet evening. Golden light stretching across the sky like a long exhale. He nudged my shoulder. Promotion feels any different today? It's just a title. No celebration dinner. I ordered dumplings. That counts. He laughed. You always were hard to impress. No, I said. I just learned the difference between attention and intention. Luca left the city last month. He didn't say goodbye. He didn't need to. Eva works at a small marketing firm now. I heard she clocks in late, scrolls Instagram during meetings, and keeps her head down. Karma doesn't always scream. Sometimes it just whispers. I never lifted a finger after the retreat. The world handled itself. All I had to do was stop interfering with its justice. And stop begging for mine. You seem lighter, Ray said one evening. Because I stopped carrying him. Him, the version of me that loved him. He tilted his head. You think she's gone? No. She's still in here. I just stopped letting her steer. Ray nodded. That's fair. Silence passed between us. Comfortable now. No tension. No pretending. I used to think closure came from hearing I'm sorry, I said. But it's not that. Then what is it? It's waking up and not thinking about them first. He smiled. And did that happen? I nodded. Yesterday. And the day before. He held up his cup to quiet mornings. I clinked mine against his. And unbothered hearts. Sometimes I visit the café. I sit in the back, order tea. Watch couples argue and laugh and kiss aloud. I don't ache anymore. I don't wait. I write in my journal sometimes. Just short lines. Thoughts like this one. I didn't survive him. I survived myself. Leah popped into my office last Friday. I need advice on standing up for myself. You make it look easy. It's not, I said. It's just necessary. She looked nervous. What if people think I'm difficult? Then they're not your people, she blinked. That's simple. Power is quiet, Leah. It doesn't need permission. She smiled. You're really not as scary as people say. I leaned in. I am, just not to you. She left laughing. I brought flowers to my apartment last weekend. They're not romantic. He said quickly, just orange lilies. You like orange, I do. I took them. Thanks. He looked around. It's peaceful here. I like peace now. He nodded. You deserve it. I glanced at him. You're still here. I said I would be. You're not waiting for the girl I used to be, no. He said. I'm staying for the woman you've become. I don't walk around needing closure anymore. I don't plan revenge, I just live, and that's the real win. I eat what I want. I wear what I like. I speak when it matters. I leave when it doesn't, and sometimes I think about that girl sitting alone in the cafe on her birthday, crying into her phone, waiting for someone who never intended to show up. I want to tell her, you'll stop waiting one day, and that day will save you tonight. I stood in front of my mirror. Same face, new fire. I whispered. He called it love. I called it survival. And I smiled, and I survived beautifully.